Shades can be controlled in many different ways. A shade can offer protection against the sun or serve as a privacy screen or glare protection. This blind, for example, is a privacy screen and glare protection in one. The slats follow the position of the sun. In order to view or modify the automatic functions, I open the automatic menu on the display. Here is the blind. The shading type determines how the blind is to be used. This blind is mainly used as a privacy screen and glare protection. Its use as a sun protection is secondary. In automatic mode, it is always fully down. The position of the slats simply changes with the position of the sun. I therefore chose Always for the shading type. The movement range for automatic mode has been limited, and the blind is only lowered to 80%. The slats on this blind are tilted according to the position of the sun. This menu also contains settings for the light intensity that triggers this sun position function and the position of the slats at a given height of the sun. Furthermore, you can set a fixed slat position in case the sun is not in the shading range, or if the brightness levels temporarily falls below the threshold value. The shading range, that is, the range in which the blind slats react to the sun, is set here. The blind is on the western side of the building, and consequently, the sun is only taken into account from the west. The blind is on the western side of the building, and consequently, the sun is only taken into account from the west. In addition, the slats only follow the sun as long as it is higher than 40 degrees above the horizon. When the sun is lower than that, it is concealed by the house next door, and the slats may be opened completely. Temperature blocks are not needed if the blind is always completely extended in automatic mode. I can set a special movement position for hot spells. This blind is then lowered completely, and the slats are closed altogether to stop the heat warming up the house. There is one time I like my blind to be fully raised, and that is in the morning, at breakfast time. Therefore, I set a period called breakfast and have selected it here. Although the blind is always lowered to 80% in the automatic mode, I have activated night closure, and I have set the system so that the blind and slats are closed completely at night. Frost protection prevents any movement of the shades when it is cold and raining or snowing outside. Otherwise, the slats or the drive might get damaged by the blind freezing in a certain position. The blind doesn't need to retract if it rains, but it should be protected from strong wind. I have therefore activated the wind alarm here. The resets ensure that this blind returns to automatic mode 2 hours after any manual changes. Thus, the privacy screen is reactivated after a short while. Now you know some of the settings that are relevant for a blind being used as a privacy screen and glare protection.